What's up? Let me adjust the camera a little bit. Another week has passed. My hair is absolutely bonkers. It's so long. Look at this. If I were to pull it straight, it would cover almost to my mouth, and it tickles my nose really badly when I do that. So I'm not going to do it anymore. I just came back from seeing A Quiet Place with, scoot the chair, with Samuel and Mason, and oh my goodness, it was good. I just picked up a pen. It was really good. Produced, written, directed, and acted by John Krasinski and his wife Emily Blunt. It was great. It was. I don't normally watch horror films, but I was intrigued by adjusting the camera slightly. I was intrigued by A Quiet Place because the premise is this couple with their family lives in a world that has been ravaged by these alien monster things that attack sound. They're completely blind, so they hunt by sound. So any noise above above a whisper, maybe even a whisper, will draw these monsters to you like that, and they will just murder you and eat you. And probably, I don't know. And so they didn't spend a lot of time dealing with the monsters. Like, we didn't explore where they came from or what happened when they first arrived. Like, we start 3 months after they first showed up, and then you jump ahead about a year. But the whole time, there's very little dialogue. The family uses sign language to communicate, which I'm just going to gesture wildly because I don't know much sign language. And so they use sign language to communicate with each other, which is great, which works well because they have the oldest child, the daughter, is deaf. She has a cochlear implant, which doesn't work, so she's literally deaf the entirety of the film. And so they use sign language to communicate to each other, and it's fun seeing how they set up their corner of reality to be soundproof. Like, they pour sand all over the ground from their house, like even all the way into town, so they can go get supplies, and all around their farm property. They have inside the actual buildings, they have paint splatters here. Not paint. They've paint. I don't even know what to call it. They've just like little sections painted on the floorboards to show you the spots that do not creak when you step on them, so you know where to step when you're moving through the house. They're very deliberate. Like, they play board games, and they changed out the plastic pieces for little cloth pieces so that they don't make any noise. They eat food with their fingers off of a giant leaf plate. They cook food. They slow cook food underground to mitigate noise. And a major point is that the wife is pregnant, and so when she finally has the baby, they have this soundproofed box where they put the baby down, put on an oxygen mask so it can breathe, and close the box so it can coo and squeal and cry, and the noise will be muffled so as not to draw the monsters to eat the baby, which would be terrible. But there's just a whole bunch of stuff that goes wrong with the making noise and drawing the monsters, and having to make noise elsewhere to draw the monsters there, and that doesn't work as well as they thought. Because then the family gets separated, and the mom's here, dad and one of the kids is here, and the other kid is over here, and then dad and mom are together, and the kids are over here, and then our dad and the kids are together, and mom's over here, and there's a bunch of crazy stuff that goes on. But it was wonderfully done. It's so eerily quiet. Like, there's sound effects. I don't even think there was much music in the background. It was just sound effects of like wind blowing and leaves rustling, footsteps, the occasional clatter of some supplies. But it's just so nerve-wracking. Like, if you have severe anxiety, do not watch this film. It will give you a panic attack. There were several moments where I'm so tense because it's so quiet, and then something will happen, and there's just a noise of a raccoon dropping off of a rooftop. Startles you because there's nothing else going on. It's very tense, but I think it does it very well. I would say this is one of the best films I've seen, and it's almost an independent film, I think, if I remember it correctly. But it's great. The acting is great. The universe is great. They don't like I liken it. I'll liken it kind of to Don't Breathe, a film that was released last year, the year before. about a group of young adults who break into this blind man's house, and the man is blind, so but he can hear really well because your body kind of compensates for that. But there's a twist towards the end of Don't Breathe that I don't like. But this film didn't have much of a twist. It was just this. It was the focus was entirely on the family and them relating to each other in this new world, dealing with their actions and having to live without making a single noise. It was great. Go check it out. Make sure you have like an ice cream float or something afterward, because that's what Samuel Mason and I did, because we were on edge. It was crazy, but it was so good. I'll talk to you guys next week. I'm sure I'll have some really cool news. In fact, I have cool news now, so I might record a video tomorrow and just post it later in the week or something. But life is good. Go see A Quiet Place. If you saw A Quiet Place, let me know what you thought in the comments below, or in a direct message on some social media format. Until then, peace out.